Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the left side path of your Spring of Sorrow, the Gauntlet. And here the defenders are going to be Viv Vision, which is a new fight, and I might add is really annoying to deal with. Very few champions that can do that the right way. There is also an Ironfist, the annoying Ironfist with all the block, and then there are two regular fights, the common fights that are going to be Gwenpool and Jessica Jones. More on them later. But before we jump on to the fight, let's discuss the objectives. There is one for completion, one for exploration, and then depending if you're Paragon, you will get 4 objectives, and if you are Valiant, you get 6 objectives. So, having had that out of the way, so depending on you what champions you're going to use, I'm going to use a combination of skill, size, and cosmic champions, but ideally you have to do one path with cosmic and tech team and the other part with the science and skill team to get the maximum amount of points. But because I already did the right path and I got all the points, so I am just going with this team. So the first fight with Viv Vision, very annoying fight. Right off the bat, do not push her to an SP2 because you will have to parry each of the hits on SP2, and that's not an easy task and you will die there. With SP1, she is going to be unblockable, so you will need to learn how to evade the SP1 on the 3 instances. You will die quite a bit. It is a really difficult fight, but that's okay. It's gonna cost you a bit of practice. Cost me around 55 attempts before I understood how to approach this fight. Now, there are plenty of champions that can do this fight. I've done this fight with Serpent, I've done this fight with Kate Bishop, the one you're checking out right now. Yeah, I've also done this fight with Valkyrie, so plenty of options. I've also done this fight with the Hyperion. So in my opinion, the best and the fastest way to get this down is Kate Bishop. So, once you are above 1 bar of power, it's part of Viv's Vision kit that your SP1s are not unblockable. So you can always keep 1 bar of power and you can block the specials. A champion that works really well is going to be your Spider Ham. Just keep the power, do not use it, and just keep getting those power stings up. And Viv Vision is very trigger happy, so she will take damage from that. So quite a few different champions that can be used. Kate Bishop is probably the most efficient one, so that's I've used her. It takes a bit of time to get used to her gameplay loop, but once you do, you can take her out in that. I would not say easily. It is going to take quite a bit of practice, but you can take her out. Next up is going to be Iron Fist. Now, plenty of options you can take. I mentioned Thing is a good option. Any tanky champion can work really well, but I think the best option, the tailor-made option for this fight, is either your Captain America Infinity War, who is also very tanky, and another option that is very close second is going to be your Human Torch. But with Human Torch you have to do it in one go. You can't die, otherwise your Nova Flames will not be available again, because with this fight there is a node here with all natural, so that does not allow you to gain buffs and the defender any debuffs. So it is a very a physical sort of a fight. So if you're going to use Human Torch, make sure to turn on your Nova Flames, otherwise bring a tanky champion. And what I like to do, I like to keep the gauge up to a maximum of 8. I rarely go above 9, and once I am there, I block more. One of the biggest things I will tell you about this fight is block more, attack less. You don't need to worry about the power. Once you do the blocks, you will get power because of kinetic conveyance. So don't worry about that. Once you go around 3 pressure gauge, that's where you do a 5-hit combo, get up to 8, and then you wait for the special attack. The SP1, you just block it out, and then the end of it, you use a heavy attack that will remove that protection, and then you go straight into a special, just like this. Heavy attack into an SP3, and that should do some good amount of damage. So any champion you use, plenty of champions can be used here. You can use Thing, you can use Human Torch, you can use Captain America Infinity War. I've also seen people use Overseer, so there are plenty of options that can be used, mostly science options. There's also tech options that can be used. I've given some of them, but I've not really tried them personally, but I think they can work as well, purely because you just need a tanky champion that can withstand all of that block damage, and the rest gameplay loop is keep the pressure gauge between 3 and 8. You do a 5-hit combo, you go up to 8, then you block hits to gain power, and then you wait for Ironfist to trigger an SP1 like that. You use a heavy attack into a special. The heavy will remove the protection into a special attack, and that will do some huge damage. Now, Captain America Infinity War is tailor-made for this fight because firstly, at the 3 bars of power, when you use an SP3, he is going to get a long kinetic charge. And then during the fight, because you're going to block a lot and you're going to parry a lot, you will be almost always at 5 of those kinetic charges. And then as soon as you use a heavy that removes the protection, then you can use it to cancel heavy into SP2, and that is going to do some huge damage. You will see like 130,000 crits and everything. My Captain America Infinity War is rank 5. Is not ascended. If it was ascended, already been a solo. Although I think I can solo this fight with Captain America Infinity War easily, but because I just died there, he just got up and a drop kick to my face. But that's okay, I was able to bring him down. So that's the gameplay loop. Waiting for the SP1 here. There we have it. Heavy attack into an SP3 with a perfect bonus of extra 20% damage. And that should be enough to take Iron Fist down. No, down to 2%. So, before we move on to the next fight, again, stay between 3 and 8. Let him hit in your block. Block more. Get down to 3 pressure gauge. Then use a 5-hit combo. Get up to 8. That should give you enough power. Let him throw an SP1. Parry the SP1s. And on the last attack, dex it. Use a heavy attack. And boom, your special. And there you have it. Now, moving on to the next fight. Fight number 3 is Gwenpool. Reverse controls. I think we have... this fight by now, I think if you've done the right path, you know how to deal with this. The gameplay loop here is the one gameplay loop you need to follow is use your corner Gwenpool from the beginning of the fight. Just use your parry and heavy and just try to corner Gwenpool. Once you have a corner, at that point keep an eye on your reverse control timer. Do not try to let her trigger her SP1 when your inverse counter is about to change. That is the most important thing in this whole fight. Don't worry about the prowesses. Don't worry about the protection. All of that will naturally go down and you will get the prowesses. No worry about that. The only one thing you need to keep an eye on is your reverse control timer. So use your SP1s, use your 5-hit combos, use your strikers to delay the time. So you only give Gwenpool the opportunity to trigger an SP1 only when you have like a full timer on the reverse control. So just here, there's half timer remaining and you just threw an SP1, and that's a smooth transition to invert controls. So, and a mental premeditation you need is that as soon as you see that the reverse control is red, you know you should automatically be swiping forward to dash back. And as soon as it's cooldown, so you need to keep, that is the only active thing you need to remember in this fight. Other than that, it's just 5-hit combos into an SP1. I prefer champions like Venom or champions like Kingpin, who are like a bit tanky and they are their SP1 has a bit of animation, so that helps me time the reverse control timer, the interval between it, and I am able to control the fight. So if you're able to understand this gameplay loop, and you are able to after 4 or 5 tries get used to it, you should be able to bring down Gwenpool. Now if you get hit like I just get hit, what do you need to do? There is going to be like a damage time bomb on you. So to remove that, you need to parry Gwenpool and use 4 light attacks. The fourth light attack will remove that bomb and you will be able to continue your fight as normal. So yeah, there you have it. We are almost taking down Gwenpool with Venom. Venom is just a beast for this Gauntlet. I used him yesterday to take out all the right side. Only for Onslaught I used Iron Heart. But yeah, Venom can take out these fights amazingly well. And the boss node is going to be Jessica Jones. Now, there is a lot of nodes here and there's a lot to talk about, but let me simplify it for you. One, do not let her trigger an SP1 because that will be difficult to manage. Don't worry about the unstoppable. Use 4-hit combos and block and let her trigger a heavy attack. The goal of this fight is to push her to an SP2 and let her trigger that, and as soon as she throws an uppercut, you can go back in and attack her. Now, if you notice, when you do that, you get a buff on you that is called stoppable, that is a pink cooldown, and that helps you counter the unstoppable on Jessica Jones. So let's look at that again. I am going to slowly push her to an SP2. So just here, I'm just blocking. There she is. She's got an SP2. Now we're gonna wait for her to throw an SP2 here. Do not use a special before Jessica Jones. There we have it. SP2, and look, there's a buff on me, and the unstoppable doesn't really matter, so I can go in and attack. As long as you have the stoppable buff on you, you can go through and you can hit during unstoppable as well. So that is the main mechanic. Apart from that, there is a node Dawn of Protection, that is like protection from AQ. You use either a special attack, medium attack, or a heavy attack to remove protection charges, and every 14 seconds the defender gets one protection charge that gives them 30% reduced damage taking ability. So you have to complete one cycle of medium, heavy, and special before you can use the same action again. So yeah, that's pretty much it about this fight. If you understand the concept of removing the protection and also staying away when she is unblockable, right here I got hit, and that unblockable took give me a lot of damage because of combo party cruelty. So 3 things: stay away during unblockable, play around the Dawn of Protection, remove those protections with the medium, heavy, or special, and the final one is use 4-hit combo and block. Let her use a heavy attack and push her to an SP2. It's much easier to punish, and once you use it in SP2, punish her to get the stoppable to play around the unstoppable. I hope this helps, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.